The nurse placed him in my arms, warm and quiet, like the room wanted to pretend nothing had changed. The delivery lights were too bright. They made every surface look scrubbed and honest. Hospitals do that. They sell you cleanliness when what you really need is certainty. "Healthy baby boy," the doctor said. Megan squeezed my hand. "Look at him, Jack. Look." I did. Tiny nose, soft hair, a face so new it didn't know how to be a face yet. He stared up at me with that blank seriousness babies have, like he'd arrived with a question nobody in the room was ready to answer. Then I saw the ankle band. O POS, black letters, white plastic, no emotion, no apology. For a second, my brain did what it always does. It tried to solve the problem. AB can come from A and B. It can't come from two O's. That's basic. The kind of basic you learn in a high school class you barely remember, until the day you need it more than you ever needed algebra. The nurse adjusted his blanket and said, "Dad, you can hold him closer." Dad. That word hit like a polite shove. Not brutal, not dramatic, just enough to move you off balance. Megan's eyes stayed on my face. She wasn't soaking in the moment. She was taking my temperature, checking for fever, checking for smoke. "I'm O NEG. I donate regularly. I carry the card in my wallet because my mother treated type information like fire safety. Megan told me she was O POS the first year we dated. Two O parents don't make AB. That's not an argument. That's a wall. You can punch it all night and it will still be there in the morning." Megan watched my eyes instead of the baby. She was measuring my reaction like it mattered more than his first breath. "Isn't he perfect?" she whispered. I smiled because hospitals are full of witnesses, nurses, cameras, people who will remember your face if you turn into a problem. "He's amazing." A nurse came in with a clipboard. "Dad, I need you to verify." "Before I sign anything," I said, calm as stone, "I want a paternity test." Megan's face didn't fall apart. It sharpened. "Not here," she hissed, still smiling for the room. "Here is exactly where," I said. Her fingers dug into my wrist. "Please." For a second I felt the old instinct. Give her what she wants. Keep the peace. Keep the story pretty. That's what marriage teaches you if you let it. But I looked down at that baby again and felt something inside me click. Not rage. A lock. Trust isn't a feeling. It's paperwork. And somebody had forged my name. Megan went clubbing every Friday. Always had an excuse that sounded reasonable when you wanted to believe it. Girls' night. Work drinks. Just dancing. It helps my stress. She'd leave in a dress that said she wasn't coming home early. She'd kiss me quick, like the kiss was a receipt, proof she'd paid something before she went to spend the rest. She'd text photos of cocktails and blurry faces. Sometimes she'd send voice notes, laughing too loud over the music. "We're having so much fun!" Like it was important that I hear the background noise, that I picture her surrounded by girlfriends instead of the truth. She'd come back at 2 or 3 with a smile that looked practiced. Some nights, she went straight to the shower. Some nights, her hair was brushed when she'd left it curled. Some nights, she smelled like cheap perfume piled over expensive cologne. And some nights, she'd crawl into bed and face the wall, as if sleep was a shield. If I asked questions, she'd laugh and tap my chest like I was being cute. "Don't start, babe." I didn't start. I'm a property operations manager for a downtown building. My job is systems, keys, cameras, access logs, times that line up. At home, I let her be the one thing that didn't. Then she got pregnant. She held my hands in our bathroom and whispered, "You're going to be a dad." I believed her because loving someone turns your brain into a soft target. Because I wanted it. Because I'd pictured a kid for years and never said it out loud because saying it out loud felt like tempting fate. But the timing kept nagging at me. She got morning sickness that only hit after lunch. She had cravings that sounded like jokes. She refused doctor appointments unless she could go alone. When I offered to come, she'd snap, "I don't need you hovering." And Friday didn't stop. If anything, Friday got louder. Her friends helped her keep it cute. They commented under her posts like a cheering section. "Queen! You deserve fun! Get it, mama!" The same women who'd look me in the eyes at barbecues and call me such a good guy. One of them, Lena, started making jokes about me being old-fashioned. Megan would laugh and say, "Jack's fine. He's a houseplant." A houseplant. That's what I was to them. Quiet, easy, something you water when you remember. The first time I noticed a real crack wasn't even a big thing. It was underwear. Megan came home one Friday and tossed her clothes into the hamper like she was angry at them. When I did laundry the next day, I found a lace bra I'd never seen. Not new purchase, not surprise for you. Something older, worn in, like it lived in another drawer. When I asked about it, she didn't blink. "It's Lena's. She left it in my bag." Like women just trade bras by accident. I wanted to argue, but arguing felt like admitting I'd been watching, and I hated the idea of being the man who watches his own wife. So I swallowed it. I let her keep the routine. I told myself I was secure, mature, not controlling. That's the lie loyal men tell themselves. If you don't look at the wound, it isn't bleeding. Pregnant women don't usually slip on stiletto boots and head to a club every week. Not the ones who claim their ankles are swelling. Not the ones who get heartburn from tomato sauce. Megan did. I told myself she was blowing off steam. I told myself I was lucky she still wanted me at all. I told myself 100 soft lies because soft lies are comfortable. Until I saw ABPOS on that band and realized Friday wasn't her routine. Friday was her other life. Back at the hospital that first night, Megan slept. The baby slept. I sat in the hard chair and opened the shared calendar. Every Friday, a block of words, different labels, same hours. Dinner with Lena birthday, office mixer, networking. Like her life was a spreadsheet she thought I wouldn't audit. I opened our joint card statement. Uber rides at 1:12 a.m. from downtown to the same 5-mile pocket. Then another ride 2 hours later. Charges at the Edison. Charges at a diner that never closed. Lip gloss at a drugstore at 3:48 a.m. because apparently you can buy innocence if you buy it early enough. The Edison is the nightclub in my building. That's when the nausea showed up, slow and thick. I pulled camera footage the way I pull footage when there's a noise complaint, legally through my own system for building safety. My badge, my job, my access, no backdoor hacking, no sneaking into anyone's phone. Just the same screens I stare at when a delivery truck blocks the fire lane. Friday, 10:21 p.m. Megan in a silver dress, alone in the service corridor. She checked her phone, smiled at something, then tucked it away like a secret. A man stepped out of the stairwell. Tall, clean haircut, easy confidence. He touched her lower back like it belonged to him. She leaned in like she'd done it before. They didn't look around like teenagers. They moved like people who'd rehearsed. They vanished into the stairwell. I zoomed until the pixels broke. I remembered Trent's handshake at that fundraiser, firm, practiced. He'd clapped my shoulder like we were old friends. "You run the building?" he'd said. "Man, that's power. You control the doors." I'd laughed because it sounded like a compliment. Now it sounded like a confession. In my system, I tagged the clip as incident, unauthorized access, so it would auto-retain. That's the thing about systems. They don't care why. They only care what you tell them. Trent Hale. I'd met him twice. Once during a tenant issue when he flashed a grin and acted like we were buddies. Once at a fundraiser where he talked about branding and connections like it was a religion. He'd shaken my hand and looked at me a beat too long, as if he was cataloging me. Megan had called him a character. Now I watched her smile up at him and understood the joke had been on me. Later, Megan woke and said, "He's yours, I swear." And I nodded like a man who still believed in Santa. "Okay," I said. "I believe you." She relaxed. I stayed awake, because I wasn't going to burn the house down. I was going to take it apart bolt by bolt. The next morning, I stepped into the hallway under the excuse of getting ice. The hospital smelled like bleach and burnt coffee, and fear hiding behind polite voices. A nurse with tired eyes, Lila, pushed a cart past me. "Can I ask you something?" I said. She stopped. "Sure." I kept my voice low. "That baby band, AB positive, is that accurate?" Lila's expression went careful, the way professionals get when you step near the edge of their rules. "It's what the lab enters." "My wife says she's O," I said. "I'm O negative, confirmed." Lila didn't offer comfort. She offered math. 2 O parents can't produce AB. My stomach dropped anyway, even though I already knew. "But," she added, "your wife's type might be self-reported. People guess, they remember wrong, so don't assume hers is correct. If you want certainty, you request a formal test." "And if she refuses?" I asked. "Courts order it later," Lila said. "Here, you can still refuse to sign anything you're not sure about. You can ask for a social worker. You can ask for documentation." She hesitated, then said, softer, "Just don't get loud." "The baby doesn't deserve loud," I said, finishing her thought. Lila nodded once, grateful. "Good." Back in the room, Megan smiled too quickly. "Everything okay?" "Yeah," I said. "Just tired." She believed my tone. She didn't see the decision behind it. I wasn't leaving yet. If I left, she controlled the story. She'd paint me as cruel, unstable, the husband who abandoned a new mother. I needed to stay long enough to take the pen from her hand. At discharge, they brought more forms. I kept my tone polite and my hands steady. "I'm not refusing care," I told the clerk. "I'm refusing to sign paternity acknowledgments until testing is complete. My attorney will handle it." Megan tried to smile through clenched teeth. "Jack, stop making this ugly." "I'm not making anything," I said. "I'm just not signing blind." The clerk didn't argue. Clerks don't fight, they file. She marked the chart and moved on. Megan waited until we were alone in the elevator, and then she dropped the smile like it burned. "You're humiliating me," she said. I watched the floors tick by. "You're scared," I replied. "I'm angry," she corrected. "Same thing," I said. Her eyes went shiny. "How could you even think?" I cut her off with one sentence, quiet as a nail going in. "Because I saw the band." She went still. Then she looked away, out at the bland hospital hallway sliding past, and whispered, "You're ruining my moment." And I understood it wasn't about the baby at all. It was about the picture of herself she wanted framed on everyone's wall. At home, Megan posted blessed pictures. Friends sent hearts. Her mom called me, "Such a good husband." People love a clean story. 8 days after the birth, Megan asked if she could go out Friday. "Just a quick drink. I need to feel normal." "Go," I said. "I've got him." Her eyebrows rose. "Really? Really?" I watched her pack the diaper bag with the wrong kind of care, like she was performing motherhood while her mind was already downtown. Then she left in that red coat, the one she wore when she wanted to be noticed. That night, I went to my building. I wrote my rules down in a notes app like a checklist. 1. No screaming. Screaming is for people who want witnesses. 2. No hitting. Bruises become stories. 3. No threats I couldn't defend in court. 4. Let them talk. People hang themselves with casual sentences. It felt cold, typing it out, but cold was better than stupid. 10:17 p.m. Megan entered the Edison service corridor, not dressed for quick, dressed for Friday. 10:21 p.m. Trent came through the stairwell. He didn't kiss her. He didn't need to. Their bodies already knew the script. I didn't watch the whole thing. I wrote down times. I sent an email to building ownership requesting footage retention for unauthorized access. True enough, boring enough, legal enough. Then I called a family lawyer, Diane Schul. All business, no sugar, contest paternity, file fast, document legally. Don't do anything that makes me look unstable. Do not confront him alone, Diane said. I'm not, I lied, because technically I hadn't yet. After the call, I looked up Trent's life online. Public posts, public smiles. Men like him put their pride on the internet like a trophy shelf. A photo stopped me. Trent with a woman, hand on his arm. Dark hair, sharp jaw, a smile that didn't look forgiving. Caption, anniversary dinner. Her name was Elise. I didn't message her yet. Accusations without proof are just noise. I saved it and kept moving. When Megan came home at 2:12 a.m. and whispered, "Sorry, it ran late," I didn't flinch. I kissed her forehead like I didn't know. Like I hadn't just decided where the blade would land. Trent made his mistake on a Thursday. He parked in my building's underground garage, in a resident spot, like rules were for other people. I went down with a clipboard and a flashlight. I looked like my job because it was my job. He was on his phone, laughing, the sound bouncing off concrete like he wanted it to echo. "Hey," I said. He turned and grinned. "Jack, building wizard." "You're in a reserved spot," I said. "I need you to move." He smirked. "Ticket me." I stepped closer, not touching. "Or I call your wife." His smile slipped, just a little. Enough. He tried to bluff. "You don't know what you think you know." "When my son was born," I said, "his band said AB positive." Trent went still. I watched his eyes. That tiny pause told me everything. "You're crazy," he said, too quick. "Move your car," I said, "and don't come back here thinking you're unseen." A vehicle rolled into the garage behind us. Headlights washed over Trent's face. For a second, he looked like a kid caught stealing. He yanked open his door, started the SUV, and peeled out up the ramp. I followed, walking, not running. Running looks desperate. Walking looks certain. Trent hit the ramp too fast and overcorrected. The SUV fishtailed, tires squealing, then straightened. He didn't crash. He didn't hurt anyone. He just proved something in public. He could be rattled. At the garage exit, he looked back through the rear window, searching for a monster. All he saw was me holding a clipboard. That was the point. I didn't need fists. I needed pressure. Pressure looks like policy. It looks like consequences arriving in a suit. I sent a clean, boring email to the Edison's manager about repeated tailgating and service corridor access. No names, just dates and times. Corporate got involved. Building legal got involved. Suddenly, that stairwell required badge access. Suddenly, the bartender who used to prop the service door open got a memo that said termination in small print. Trent didn't have a badge. Then I sent another clean email to Northline Athletics, the gym tenant in my building, about after-hours tailgating. Again, no accusations, just policy and liability. Those are the magic words that make adults move. The next day, Trent posted an Instagram story about discipline. Mid-sentence, a staffer walked up and spoke to him. Trent's smile gone. The story ended. Comments on his latest post got turned off by midnight. He was already shrinking. Megan started asking questions at home, like she could smell the air changing. "Do you ever worry about cameras?" she said one night, stirring pasta she wouldn't eat. "Depends," I said. "Why?" She shrugged. "Just, people think they're invisible." "No one is invisible," I said. She stared at me a beat too long, then laughed like it was a joke. Her laugh sounded wrong. After she fell asleep, I finally messaged Elise. "Hi, Elise. You don't know me? I'm Jack. I believe your husband is involved with my wife. I have documentation. If you want to talk, call me." She replied in 6 minutes. "Call me." Her voice was steady, almost relieved. "Tell me what you know," she said. I gave her times and places. I told her about the stairwell. I told her about the paternity test request. I told her I was filing. Elise didn't cry. She exhaled and said, "He told me she was a client." "Mine told me he was nobody," I said. Elise went quiet, then said, "He thinks he's untouchable." "He's not," I said. Before hanging up, I said, "Don't do anything loud." She gave a small, humorless laugh. "Jack, I'm done being embarrassed. Loud is all he understands." I didn't argue. I just said, "Then be smart loud." Elise paused. "You're planning." "Yes," I said. "Good," she replied. "So am I." 12 days later, Diane called. "It's not your child," she said. No build-up, no sympathy, just truth. I stared at the security monitors at my desk, doors opening, doors closing, strangers moving through their day, and felt my hands go cold. That night, I put the paper on the kitchen counter while Megan scrolled her phone. "What's that?" she asked, not looking up. "Results," I said. "He's not mine." Megan scoffed. "Those tests mess up." "Not this one," I said. She finally looked. Her face went pale, then angry, like anger could rewrite ink. Megan tried to bargain before she admitted anything. "You're tired," she said. "You're paranoid. New dads get weird." She said it like she'd read it in an article, like my pain was a symptom she could label and dismiss. I kept my voice flat. "Don't diagnose me, answer me." Her eyes flicked to her phone on the table, then away. Even if it's not yours, you love him," she whispered. "That matters." I nodded once. Love doesn't sign legal forms. That's when she flipped from pleading to attack, because that's what she does when she feels cornered. "So you're going to punish me," she said, voice rising. "You're going to ruin my job, ruin my life." "I'm going to stop being used," I said. "So what?" she snapped. "You're leaving? You're abandoning us?" "I'm not signing my name under a lie," I said. She grabbed the paper, scanned it, and her mouth opened like she'd forgotten how to breathe. "Who is he?" I asked. "It doesn't matter," she snapped, voice cracking. "It matters," I said. She tried tears. "You're hurting me." I kept my voice low. "You did this." Her eyes flashed. "You can't prove anything." I looked at her, steady. "The Edison," I said. "The stairwell. Trent Hale." Her face froze. "I know he's married," I added. Megan's panic finally showed. "You're going to ruin me." "No," I said. "You did. I'm just not cushioning the fall." She stared at the baby sleeping in the bassinet, and for a split second I saw a flicker of guilt. Then it vanished, replaced by survival. My phone buzzed. A text from Elise. "Tonight. He's there. I'm coming." Megan watched my face like she was watching a bomb timer. "Who is that?" she whispered. I smiled, small and tired. "Someone else who's done believing Friday night stories." Friday arrived, and Megan tried to act normal, which only proved she wasn't. She folded baby clothes with shaking hands. She kissed my cheek too long. She asked if I wanted takeout, like we were still a couple deciding between pizza and Thai. At 8:10 p.m., she said, "Dinner with Lena." I nodded. "Have fun." Her eyes searched mine. "You're not coming?" "No," I said. "I'm staying with him." She hesitated at the door. "Don't be cruel." I looked at her coat buttoned wrong, lipstick too fresh. "Don't be dishonest," I said. She left. 5 minutes later, I drove downtown. I couldn't bring the baby into a club, so I dropped him at my building's security office with Omar. Omar stared at me. "You okay?" "Not really," I said. "Keep the door locked. If anyone asks, you've never seen me." Omar blinked, then nodded. "Got it." Elise met me across from the Edison. Gray coat, hair tight, eyes sharp. She didn't smell like perfume. She smelled like winter air and decision. 9:12. Megan walked in, red coat glowing under neon. 9:27. Trent arrived, cutting the line like the world owed him. Elise's jaw tightened. There. We do it clean, I said. Elise looked at me. Clean. No screaming, I said. No swinging. We make them face it, then we leave. Elise's mouth twitched. I can do quiet. I can't do gentle. I'm not asking for gentle, I said. I'm asking for control. We went in together. VIP area, high table, loud music, Megan laughing too hard, Trent's hand on her hip like it was property. Megan saw me first. Her smile vanished. Trent turned, still smiling, until he saw Elise. His face drained so fast I almost admired it. Elise, he said, like a man seeing a mirror he hates. Elise kept her voice low. Hello, Trent. Megan grabbed my sleeve. Jack, don't. You did this here, I said. Every Friday. Trent tried charm. Misunderstanding. Elise leaned in. You told me she was a client, she said. That's cute. Megan blinked at Trent, shocked, betrayed even now. Trent's mask cracked. Stop, he snapped. Heads turned, phones rose, not because we screamed, because tension has weight. Trent tried to pivot. Let's go outside, he hissed to Elise, grabbing her elbow. Elise didn't move. Don't touch me, she said. Trent's hand tightened. Elise's eyes went flat. That's when I stepped in, not as a hero, as a door. Let go, I said. Trent stared at me, furious. You think you're tough? I think you're sloppy, I said. He shoved past me, trying to retreat toward the stairwell. People parted like water. He moved fast, but he wasn't used to moving without an audience cheering. I followed him down the stairs. Elise followed us. Megan followed too, panic dragging her heels. Trent hit the service corridor and yanked the door. It didn't open. Badge required now. My memo had done its job. His eyes went wide. He slammed the handle again. Nothing. Security rounded the corner, radios crackling. Megan whispered, Oh my God. Elise said, calm. That door's closed, Trent. The security guard asked, What's going on? I held up my hands. We're leaving, I said. Trent spun on Megan. You said he was weak. Megan flinched. Elise looked at Megan. He's not weak, she said. He's awake. Trent tried one more move. He darted toward the back exit. Security stopped him. No punches, just hands, firm and trained. Trent tried to bull past the guard and nearly slipped on the wet floor where someone had spilled a drink. He caught himself, wild-eyed, then looked at Megan like she was supposed to rescue him. Megan made a small sound and stepped forward, then stopped. Her hands hovered in the air, useless. Jack, please, she whispered, voice cracking. Just go home. I kept my gaze on Trent. Home is where you left me, I said. I'm not there anymore. The guard tightened his grip. Sir, calm down. Trent's laugh was ugly. Calm? You think I'm the one? Elise cut in, still quiet. You are. You always are. That calmness was worse than yelling. It made people listen. A couple nearby stopped pretending not to watch. Someone's phone camera glinted. Trent froze when he noticed it. That was the real fear. Not consequences, but being seen without his filter. Megan stood against the wall, shaking, lipstick suddenly looking childish. She whispered, What do you want? I stepped close, voice low. Truth, I said. And consequences. Megan's eyes flicked to Trent pinned by security, and understood, maybe for the first time, that neither man was coming to save her. After security released us into the cold night air, Elise didn't hug me or thank me. She just looked at me like I was a man she'd misjudged from a distance. Send your attorney my number, she said. I will, I replied. She nodded once and walked away, heels clicking on pavement, already rewriting her life without Trent in it. I crossed to my building and took the service elevator up to the security office. Omar was watching a game on mute with the baby carrier beside him like it was a bomb that might go off if he blinked. Your kids chill, Omar said, relieved. Didn't even fuss. He's not my kid, I said before I could stop myself. Omar's face changed. Oh, yeah, I said. But he's still a baby. I carried him home and put him down gently, like gentleness could fix anything. Megan came home after midnight. She didn't try the sweet voice. She walked in shaking and angry, the way someone walks in after they've been pushed off their stage. You embarrassed me, she hissed. You embarrassed you, I said. She looked around the living room like she expected me to be gone. Where's the baby? Asleep, I said. Megan's eyes flicked to the bassinet, then back to me. This is insane. You're teaming up with his wife now? I didn't answer the bait. I opened my phone and showed her Diane's email subject line. Filing draft. Megan's face went pale again. You filed? Tomorrow, I said. And you're going to stop pretending you can talk your way out of ink. She took a step toward me, then stopped, because she finally understood I wasn't afraid of her anymore. Saturday morning, my phone was a graveyard of missed calls. Megan, unknown numbers, one voicemail from her mother that started with my name like it was a curse. I didn't return them. I went to work. Normalcy is armor. Diane filed the petition. Divorce, contest paternity, exclusive use of the home until terms were set. Protection built from paper. Elise emailed me screenshots and charges and messages, proof that didn't require my building cameras. At 11:40, Megan's director called. Jack, he said. Megan says there's an issue. I kept it factual. She used networking as cover for an affair. I'm filing in court. I'm calling you so your organization isn't blindsided. I'm not asking you to punish her. I'm asking you to keep your name out of her lie. Silence. Then, send the filings when they're available. I will, I said. At 2:05, Elise texted, Trent is coming to your building. I looked up at the lobby camera. There he was, pacing, angry, trapped. His hands kept checking his pockets like he expected a different reality to be in there. I went down. You did this, Trent snapped. You did this, I said. Elise kicked me out, he said. She called my partners, my accounts. That sounds like marriage, I said. He lunged, not smart, just pride. I sidestepped and redirected him into the wall. Marble met shoulder. He cursed. Security grabbed him fast, no punches, just removal. Then the elevator opened. Megan stepped out, eyes red, hair a mess, looking like someone who had finally run out of lies. Jack, she said, please. Trent twisted toward her. Tell him to stop. Megan flinched, not because she cared about me, because she realized Trent could turn on her. I pulled the lab envelope from my pocket and held it at my side like a weight. This ends in court, I said. Not in my home, not on my name. Megan's voice broke. What about the baby? I won't be his father, I said, but I won't punish him for your choices. The father will be identified. Orders will be set. Where they belong. Megan shook her head. You're cold. I leaned in, close enough that my words belonged only to her. You wanted me quiet, I said. Quiet turns into cold. Her phone buzzed. She answered, shaking. Hello? She whispered. I watched her face change as she listened, color draining, eyes widening, the kind of expression people get when they realize their reputation was never theirs. It was borrowed. She lowered the phone. They put me on leave, she said. I nodded once. That's the truth catching up. Megan slid down against the desk, sobbing. Security pushed Trent out the doors. He shouted something I didn't bother to remember. Downstairs, a process server waited near the revolving door. Someone Diane had arranged. He wasn't dramatic. He was a guy in a plain jacket, holding a folder. When security dragged Trent toward the exit, the server stepped forward and said, Trent Hale? Trent jerked his head. What? Service of legal papers, the server said, and slid the folder into Trent's hands. Trent looked down, confused, then furious. He tried to shove the folder back. "It's served," the server said flatly, already stepping away. "Have a good day." Trent stood there with the folder like it weighed 100 pounds. For the first time, he wasn't the guy in control of the room. He was the guy being handled. The street swallowed him. I went upstairs to Omar. The baby was asleep, peaceful in a way adults don't deserve. Omar asked, "You okay?" I lifted the carrier and felt the weight of the last 6 years settle into something final. "I'm done lying," I said. I walked out into the cold city air with my name intact and my heart rearranged, and I didn't look back. The cold hit my face, and I welcomed it, because cold doesn't lie, and I was done letting warm words fool me. For good. Outside, traffic hummed. I kept walking.